Most of the makeup content that you consume probably has something to do with either buying a new product, reviewing a new product, hauls, favorites, those kinds of things. But today I want to do a different kind of video. I've never done something like this on my channel where I want to talk about products that I will never buy / purchases you'll always regret. Ultimately, I think it's all about learning what your personal style is and figuring out what your preferences are and keeping that in mind when you're shopping and not making impulse purchases or being swayed by the trends that just come and go so quickly, ending up with a bunch of products that you don't actually use. So today I'm going to be doing my makeup and talking about products that I refuse to buy and purchases that you'll always regret. I might touch on a couple of the makeup products that I'm using, but for the most part, I will not be talking about the makeup. However, I always list the makeup that I'm wearing in the description box down below. First kind of product that I refuse to buy and a purchase you absolutely will always regret are color stories that are not in your comfort zone. For me specifically, it's like really colorful eyeshadow palettes, specifically pastels. And I'm gonna go ahead and call myself out with this one because I have two colorful eyeshadow palettes that I literally never use. And it's not to say that the quality is bad or anything, it's just simply they don't suit my taste. And instead of seeing something like this that looks very appealing, very pretty, or something like this, beautiful, if I'm the type of person that all I wear is a brown smoky eye or even no eyeshadow or just wing eyeliner, it makes no sense for me to have these palettes in my collection, and I've used those palettes each less than 5 times. Now today I am going in with the Odin's Eyes Stone and Rock palette, which is technically a colorful palette, but for me personally, green is my favorite color, and specifically olive greens, which this has plenty of olive greens to play with, and I do have an olive undertone, so it really complements my skin tone. So this is the type of good colorful palette purchase that I could make because this is actually a color I'm going to wear. I'm simply not going to wear pastels like this. In that same breath, we have a lot of trends going on right now focused on specific types of colors. The most recent one being the Ube Cream collection from Huda Beauty, which features that very popular like pastel pink, pastel lilac. The pinks and the purples have really taken over the makeup industry for over the past 2 years. And if that is a color that doesn't really suit your skin tone, or if that's a color that you don't have in your collection because that's not a color that you gravitate towards, why are we just gonna hop on the trend and buy those color blushes, those color lip glosses, to end up probably not using them? I always find it really helpful when I'm getting that craving to buy the new thing that I most likely will only use a couple times is to watch a bunch of reviews on that specific product, because when I really sit down and take in a bunch of people's different opinions, both negative and positive, a lot of the time, like after I've consumed all that content, I've kind of gotten the itch scratched. In my Snow Angel Baby tutorial where I was curbing my craving for the Icy Nude collection from Huda, I basically created the same exact look as all the other girls that were using the Icy Nude palette without having to buy the Icy Nude palette. Continuing on the topic of eyeshadow palettes, products that I refuse to buy are large eyeshadow palettes. If it's bigger than a 9-pan, I don't want it. I've just noticed that the most used eyeshadows in my collection are my Kaleidos Quad and my Mini Eye Sculpt 5-pan palette from Natasha Denona. I just love a smaller curated palette. That's just what I've figured out for myself. Also, bigger palettes do tend to overwhelm me, and a lot of the shades go unused because I'll just find like the 4 or 5 shades that I really gravitate towards and I'll stick to those even though I have other options. Some of the mattes end up looking the same on my skin tone, so then there's repetitive shades that we could have condensed down into a 5-pan palette, so I might as well just stick to the smaller palettes. Another kind of product that I refuse to buy, specifically to be influenced to buy, is anything that claims to be waterproof, transfer proof, 24 plus hour wear. Like, a lot of the drugstore brands specifically throw that claim around a lot, and that product might be super, super long wearing and waterproof if you're not eating, drinking, sweating, staying inside all day. But the reality is every single freaking product that I have tried that has had some kind of transfer proof, waterproof claim isn't that. I think literally one of the only products that truly is that is the One Size On Till Dawn setting spray. You cannot convince me that this foundation is going to stay on for 24 hours. Like, that's just ridiculous. And I also hate that claim because who is actually wearing their makeup for that long? Like, unless you're doing it for a challenge or for like clickbait, the normal person we're just not doing that. Like, me personally, my benchmark is usually like 6 hours, no more than 10. Those claims just give gimmick to me. It gives cash grab. And I feel like this is very, very Gen Z of people just wanting their makeup to be so transfer proof, wears 12 hours with no creasing, blah, blah, blah. And I've come to the point where I don't care that my makeup is going to fade, my makeup is going to crease. Like, that makes sense to me. It's makeup. It's not a tattoo. And a lot of the times, especially if you're someone like me, you have texture, you have acne, like your skin is problematic. If you really want like that long wear kind of effect, those kind of products just tend to sit heavier on the face and be more full coverage. And a lot of the times are comedogenic, which means like they're gonna cause your skin to break out. So for me, I'd rather just take like the super glowy natural blush that I know is going to fade in a couple hours, but is it going to make my face look really cakey and everything? Like, I'd rather just it fade than to delude myself into thinking that this blush is really going to last me like till the next day. And if you're like me and you're really wanting to do like a no buy, a low buy, just really dial back on your consumption of beauty products, you gotta unfollow those people. Like, I barely follow any makeup brands, and a lot of the times I have to unfollow like Trend Mood or Makeup on Your Radar, like the news outlet for makeups that's letting you know all of the new stuff, because that's going to be on your mind, and subconsciously your brain is going to want that. It's going to want the adrenaline and the dopamine that you get from seeing that shiny new thing. Out of sight, out of mind. If you just simply get that off of your For You page, if you delete Sephora off of your phone, if you stop watching all of those makeup videos on YouTube, girl, trust me, like, it's going to reprogram your brain. This next one is more of a trend, but it will lead into like types of products that I personally will stop buying. Specifically, cream, bronzer, blush, and highlight. I see all the girlies on TikTok put that on their face, set their face, and then go on with powder, bronzer, highlight, and blush. Like, first of all, that is so much product. Personally, for me, I can't do that. My face simply cannot handle a lot of makeup. Therefore, something like this, a product that has like a powder in it, for me, I simply will just not use this powder that much. Because one, I'm not doing that layering technique. And second of all, if I'm a cream girly, why am I gonna keep buying products that have powder products in them? And it's taken me a while to like really slow down and like realize that about myself. But like, seriously, all of these powder blushes, like, when's the last time that I wore my Too Faced Cloud Crushes? It's probably been a couple months. When's the last time that I used this freaking Essence Baked Blush? Like, the last time that I touched my RM Beauty blushes, like, and I'm using the Patrick Ta blush for example because I don't really reach for this product as much as I thought I would, because there's a powder in here. And along this same type of product, I'm also talking about like face palettes or like dual-ended like stick products where 99% of the time I'm only gonna use one color out of the set, out of the palette. So that's why I always go for just singles of everything. It has to do with me knowing my preferences and just really having that discipline to be like, you know yourself, you know you're not gonna use the powder as much. While I put on this powder, I wanna talk about the fact that I am done buying brow pencils, brow pomades, and brow pens. I have finally come to the conclusion that, first of all, I already have thick eyebrows. So again, this is something that's specific to me. It's not gonna apply to everyone. But because my eyebrows are already thick, I haven't filled in my eyebrows at all. There is no color in my eyebrows. I just put in a brow gel. And for me and how I like to look, this is enough for me. I just don't like seeing myself when I'm wearing like those brow products because it adds too much color. I just feel like it's too much. All I do with my eyebrows is maybe like once or twice every 2 weeks. I will take a little metal razor and I'll just, clean them up. I'll shape them up to get them exactly how I want, and then I just run a brow gel through them to make sure like my tails are laid down and that they're not like sticking out and everything. And that's good enough for me. This whole video is about knowing yourself and listening to yourself and not being influenced to change your ways just because pink under eyes is trending. A makeup product that I will never buy are strip lashes, guys. I'm done. I am done with strip lashes. It's always going to be the press-ons. I haven't tried these ones yet. These are the Winks by Ardell. I usually wear the Kiss Impress press-on falsies. If you know, you know. But I'm so tired of the whole strip lash application. I just never got it down every single time. Also, at the end of the day, when removing my eye makeup, I always struggled getting like the excess lash glue off of my lash line. So many of like the really expensive lashes, the bands are super thick and itchy. Like I cannot wear House of Lashes, period. I've caught myself keeping lashes or buying lashes, like especially if they go on sale, to like, oh, but for this specific look, for this specific time. We need to stop doing that collectively as a makeup community, is setting aside things and products for specific times. Because like, let's say I want to set aside a bold lash for like a Halloween look, or I don't know, just something more bold than my everyday makeup. When the time comes to, I'm still going to reach for these. Like, I'm not going to be swayed just because I'm doing a different kind of look to reach for the product that I never reach for. This next one isn't specific to a product, but let's talk about backups. I am done buying backups unless it is a product that I have repeatedly repurchased, like finished up completely and gone out to repurchase because I love it that much. I will not be purchasing backups anymore because I've purchased a backup for a new item that I immediately liked, and I was like, oh, I need to get a backup in case it sells out. And the initial love of that product dies away. And then months later, once I finish the product or maybe declutter the product because I ended up not liking it in the long run, then I have this extra backup of it that was just wasted time and money. But for instance, backups that make sense to me, my favorite moisturizer. I've spoken about this moisturizer for the past 3 years on my channel. It's still my favorite moisturizer. I always have backups because I run through these like water. One of my favorite lip liner formulas of all time, the About Face Matte Fix Lip Pencils. These are the second round of Cradled and Smoking Room. And I got backups when they went on sale for like Black Friday or something because I've already repurchased this twice. And I still use these all the time. Another one of my favorite lip liner formulas, the Fenty Beauty Traced Out Lip Pencils, which I'm running through. So it makes sense that I would have backups because I know I'm going to finish these. I use these constantly. My favorite mascara of all time, I always have a backup of this. I can't even tell you how many of these I've repurchased. My favorite drugstore mascara. My favorite lash serum, you guys. The Babe Lash Serum. I cannot tell you how many of these I have bought. And if you're wondering, like, When is a good time to buy a backup? Finish your favorite product, and even just don't repurchase it for a while. Just wait like a couple of days, a week, and see how you feel. Like, see if you truly feel like you cannot live with that product the way that I feel like I cannot live without this lash serum. That's why I have 3 backups. Even if it goes on sale, you just never know, because sometimes your skin can change, the product can turn on you, your preferences change. So by the time you finish that product, you might feel a different way and might not want to repurchase it anymore. That's happened to me so many times. Another one that makes sense are my glossy balms. I did get the new Cotton Candy color, which I will apply right now, but I have 4 of these now. My other Cherry Cola is at my job, but my favorite gloss balm ever, let's see. This is the one that's like pH adjusting. And let me tell you guys, this stuff stains, like stains. This is probably the most stainy kind of lip product I've ever tried. So if you do not want this to get on your clothes, to literally be there for a good 24 hours after you apply, I would not recommend buying this. I am gonna stop buying bullet lipsticks. Unfortunately, this one specifically, this is the e.l.f. O Face lipstick, and no doubt, it basically looks new. You can even still see the embossment on the bullet itself. I've had this for at least 6 months, barely touched it. Also, there's that Rem Beauty Glossy Balm. But these kind of tinted balms slash jelly lipsticks, like this one from Nabla, where it's more sheer and very, very shiny, something like this is the type of lipstick that I will buy. And if I want a lipstick, this is what I should buy. Last product that I refuse to buy, this is more of an all-encompassing thing, but luxury makeup. You will not catch me spending money on luxury makeup. One, most of them are not cruelty-free. As far as I know, Hourglass is the only luxury makeup brand that is cruelty-free. And I only have 1 product from them. This is the only luxury makeup product I have ever bought with my own money, and will probably be the only luxury product I will buy with my own money. Also, let's clock the tea of these K-beauty brands stepping up their game and having incredible, cute, kawaii packaging, sturdy, good quality packaging at a fraction of YSL, Chanel, Dior, Prada, like. And I'd be watching the reviews of people using these luxury makeup brands and their products, and it's like ashy, dusty, no payoff. Like, so much of it turns out to be a waste of money. Like, you will not catch me dead wearing luxury makeup, spending money on luxury makeup. This is the final makeup look. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I would love to know what are types of products, brands, trends that you refuse to participate in, that you refuse to buy, and in your opinion, what are some types of purchases that you think will always be a waste of money, will always be a waste of time. This year, I would like to pivot my content more towards just using what I have, talking about products that have really withstood the test of time, and also having more open discussions about mindful purchases and how to fine-tune and figure out what your personal style is and how your beauty purchases can help make that happen. If you would like more Get Ready With Me's tutorials, reviews, and other makeup things, then like, comment, subscribe. I did get some new ink. I forgot to show you before, but I did get some new ink. Very exciting. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you in the next one.